Alright guys, here we go. Replay analysis number 46. This time we're going to be going over 4.5k DanCatPro on his Meepo. He actually said here I have two games. One of them is a Fed Amber Spirit and a Fed Magnus. And the other one's an Earth Spirit that I'm against. And honestly, I just think Earth Spirit's an absolutely stupid hero. Very, very, very difficult to analyze against an Earth Spirit because like positioning doesn't matter. I just think that hero is absolutely ridiculous, and hopefully we won't see him in Captain's Mode in 6.86. That hero is just too strong. This game, I feel like will be hard to analyze as well, just because he's up against like an Ember Spirit, Tuskar, Magnus. I think those are three really, really good heroes. A lot of you guys might see the Lich and be like, oh my god, he's a Meepo against a Lich, but honestly, if you're an experienced Meepo player, you should be fine against a Lich. It's really easy to split against, and his ultimate is actually wasted on you because you end up spreading the damage across 9 heroes or whatever instead of, you know, potentially 4 or 5 heroes. So I think Lich is not a big deal. Abaddon's super annoying as well, believe it or not, to deal with. That shield is very annoying. Meepo really relies on blowing up, you know, one hero early on in the fight, and Abaddon just preventing that, you know, being a support that you can't kill, first of all, because he's got his ultimate. Second of all, Miscoil and Aphotic Shield are like just so annoying. This is a very, very like cancer NA pub, in all honesty. I would not want to play Meepo in this pub, but I'm definitely going to try and help him out here. So the first thing is if I know it's an NA Dota pub up around the 5k level, I think it might actually be an Abaddon offlane and a support Tuskar, or a dual offlane with Tuskar Abaddon, which is... Okay, I have no idea what's happening anymore then. Is it an offlane Magnet? I have no idea. It's got to be... Okay, I got to see these lanes because I have no clue how they're going to... I think mid Magnus, you do a safe lane Ember Spirit Lich because he's never going to die. And you can easily harass out this Slardar. Chains is pretty good at getting a kill on Slardar, along with Flame Guard. Of course, he's taking bonus damage if he tries to sprint away. DanCatPro did pick Meepo into Ember, and honestly, you're not gonna get better at playing up against it.
30 seconds to battle.
A little bit annoyed that they're unpausing and the Queen of Pain's not here. I completely understand that. But, okay, so there's the Magnus mid, Tuskar top. It seems like it will be Abaddon Lich off lane, which is super annoying still. Definitely need more regen than that. I understand the boots choice, because if he does get 1 point into Curse of Avernus, I mean, in general, Abaddon is just such a hard hero to deal with. He gets like 1 point in a Curse of Avernus. He trades so efficiently with your supports. He makes it really scary for you as the core in lane. He just like shields a creep and shit. It's so annoying. And now you've got a Lich who's effectively reducing your CS potential by 1 every whatever 40 seconds, I think is, or 50 seconds or some shit. What is it? 44 seconds. So every 44 seconds he's reducing your last hit potential by 1. That's super annoying. I would maybe consider a salve. I still have not seen this Abaddon. I would probably be calling that out. Alright, so Abaddon's top. It's a solo lane Lich. I have no idea what's happening, obviously. Now it's fine, I guess, the fact that you only have 1 set of tangos, because he shouldn't be able to harass you out all that bad. You get the 1 point into Poof. Good stuff. And we'll see where this game goes. Now, the one thing I will say as Meepo, even around, as sad as it is, you have a Bounty Hunter. So there's a couple things you have to think of. First of all, this Bounty Hunter is not going to be very static in lane. So, and I'm kind of saying this preemptively without watching this, but just in case anybody may be wondering either why he makes this decision, or if you don't make this decision, I would probably do this. You have a Bounty Hunter who's going to be moving around in the lane a lot, as well as a Wyvern. So Wyvern likes to either pressure mid with Arctic Burn, or sit bottom and just give you the heal every once in a while when she can. Because of this, you can't really rely on these heroes to stack all that much. The Wyvern likes being off lane and just having that pressure, or out of lane and just having that pressure potential either mid lane or in your lane. She's probably going to have to focus a lot on mid lane because the enemy team has a Tuskar, so he's going to be snowballing in, shit like that. Like, it's already happening right now. She's got to be pretty scared. She has a blink out, so she should be alright. But still, Wyvern may have to focus a lot on that lane, so you can't rely on either him or the Bounty Hunter And Wyvern, are you kidding me right now? I mean, Queen, are you kidding me right now? Get where she's coming from. That trade is not worth it at all. Nobody got the first blood though, so that's kind of good. But you may have to use the level 3 Meepo to stack the large camp. So just something that everybody should be aware of or keep an eye on. If he does it, I imagine that's his train of thought. If not, that should be his train of thought. If he doesn't do it, in my opinion, I think you should, because up against an Ember Spirit and a Magnus, you need to hit your timings as fast as possible. Late game, these heroes are just going to eat you alive. Like, there's honestly nothing you can do. And it's true. Like, it's so difficult to play up against an Ember Spirit because you need Blink, you need Hex. You literally need like 3 items in order just to counter the Ember Spirit, right? Like, you need Aghanim Scepter no matter what. You need a Blink to get in his face, and you need Hex to Hex him and try to burst him before he can kill you. But then they just got an Abaddon, they purged the Hex off, so this game is honestly so hard for DanCatPro. But these are the things you need, right? And you need them earlier than anything, and because of that, you need your stacks. This guy's pulling the lane to make it a little bit easier, but I really think you should be stacking. You get 1 point in a net, so you do have some kill potential up against the Lich, but it's not all that much. So you've got the multiple poof in lane. I think because you've got low base damage, it's sometimes important to do that as Meepo. But if you finish the treads, you just move the other creep in a lane. It's not that big of a deal. They try to get the kill, but again, you can still do that with having your second Meepo stacking, because he can always just poof into the lane, and it's still just as effective. So I think you should probably be having your second Meepo stacking. It's important to have these stacks as a Meepo. And I mean, even if you don't use them, it's always good to even give them away to the Quap. Like, it sounds stupid, but if this Quap can even get something like an early Orchid, which forces this Ember Spirit either into a rushed Manta or a Eul's Scepter even. I think Eul's is probably the better of the two. But it forces him into that, which means he's going to have a slower Battle Fury or a slower crit stick in general, right? So something to keep in mind, this guy's going to be able to harass you like non-stop, so this is starting to get really annoying for you, which is why you have to rely on the Wyvern to stay in lane with you, trying to push him out of lane as well as giving you the heals. And this is why you most likely need your other Meepo stacking right now. And it looks like you're going for the plays here. Everybody's dying, and already this is a very tough game for you. You've got a bounty roaming around that isn't doing much. He could easily pressure this bot lane alongside the Wyvern. It looks like he's trying to, but Tuskar is making a really nice rotation now and preventing that. So this is some nice high-level play. You decide to go for the Boots of Travel. I understand that as well. I think you're going to have a tough time finding farmer on the map, and it's pretty important to do so. This guy has a haste rune, I think. He's going to die no matter what, it looks like. There's the split I was talking about. That's pretty easy as a Meepo player. He's sticking around. Nice micro, dude. Nice micro. And now, look at this. He's split pushing well. He got his Boots of Travel. He finds some farm mid lane. And he's dead. Yeah, he's dead. Didn't have to fight again. You have to kind of position yourself as the safe laner and look what the enemy safe laner is doing. So, if you were just going to fight, don't pick Meepo. I'm sure you know this. You're 4.5, 4.7k, whatever it may be. He's good at fighting, don't get me wrong, especially when you've got the early levels in a poof like that. But he's not the best carry to fight, right? Like, you could have picked a Gyrocopter or a Juggernaut even that's, you know, good at fighting early on. Instead, you pick the Meepo, so you're going to look to farm. And when you go mid and die like this, it's super scary, because now you see this Ember Spirit, you're like, shit, this guy's free farming. I'm dead for 9 million years. There's an Abaddon getting a ton of space bot lane, which means he's going to have the EXP he needs in order to have Aphotic Shield, as well as level 6 early on. Honestly, the Dire's playing this game exceptionally well. They lose a Magnus mid, but that's a really good kill for them. They're getting a lot of space for this Abaddon bot lane, which is a huge key to winning this game. His Aphotic Shield is going to be super important in order to get rid of things like Orchid, Hex later on up against the Ember Spirit. Most importantly, his set swag as fuck. But you need to be really efficient with this Meepo, and you're doing a good job of keeping an eye on the Lich and shit. He's gonna go for an eggs and be like, oh, unlimited bounces against the Meepo, so good. But really, it's not. And now we're starting the oh shit, the Meepo died 9 minutes in, and this is getting kind of scary for him now. So you are looking for a couple stacks here. Mud Golems, that's some classic shit right there, and you're still able to CS against them. It's not all that bad whatsoever. And there you go. So right now you could have had probably a triple stack ish and you go down there. Unfortunately, that cancels your poof, and you die. And you guys have lost your jungle. Honestly, if I'm analyzing this from 100%, and I'm being honest, it's 11 minutes in. It's 5-7, but this game is pretty well over. The Ember Spirit's got solo control of the top lane. Nobody can really go up there because he's gotten so much free EXP and farm. He can most likely solo kill anybody, even though he's gone for Perseverance first instead of, well, yeah, I mean, I guess he's going to go for Boots of Travel. I'm not sure why he didn't just rush them, but, so it's really scary to go up against this Ember. Flame Guard as well as Searing Chain should be enough to get a kill. You guys need to probably rotate yourself along with the Slardar and the Winter Wyvern top, but it doesn't even matter. He's got Remnant away. I think the picks are just bad in all honesty. The Dire's playing it really well. They've completely constricted your jungle now. They're probably going to look to start getting some wards up in there. Meepo requires or relies heavily on the jungle, especially when he can't have multiple Meepos in multiple lanes, right? Like, you can't have a couple Meepos up against the Ember Spirit because he'll just kill you. Sure, you can have him outside of the range, but to soak EXP. But this game is already looking really, really rough right now. So it looks like you are looking for some stacks now. You're going to get it. Don't stack the Ancient. You could have stacked the Ancients as well there. Just a slight, you know, efficiency thing, which when you're moving up towards the 5k mark, it's really important to be as efficient as possible. Oh my god, double Mud Golems. You're also getting some pretty poor RNG in all honesty. You see the Tuskar in your jungle, and this is exactly what the Dire should be doing. They're in your jungle. They're like, you know what, we'll leave our Ember top lane. There's almost no way he should die. They have a ton of information right now. So, like, Bounty Hunter Quapper top lane, I don't know if they're trying to kill the Ember or what, but right now, look at this. They're in your jungle, completely in your jungle. There's nobody defending this bot tower. There's nobody pushing out mid lane, so this Ember Spirit, I mean, he's even tracked up, so he knows they're trying to kill him. There's absolutely no way you kill him with, you know, the soft CC of a Shuriken Toss, as well as a Queen of Pain. So he's perfectly safe. Realistically, this game's over unless they make a huge mistake. You need to smoke up, re-secure your jungle by pressuring out this bottom tier 1 and ensuring that this stays alive. You need to deward your jungle and probably have this Queen of Pain trying to farm a little bit more so it takes a lot of the pressure off of yourself. But this is just one of those pubs where, like, everything goes wrong from the start, and it's difficult to go over. But even something like having a few more stacks early on could have helped you, right? And it's really important that you find whatever farm you can wherever it is. So now you're in the enemy jungle. This is really good play. This is, I think, the only place that you can farm efficiently enough here. You've got your 3 Meepos, and now you're starting to farm pretty well here. So good shit. You got your bots, and you're doing a pretty good job here. So you're starting to find your farm. You don't manage to save bot tower, but you're pulling the enemy team around by, you know, just jumping around between their jungle and their lanes and shit like that. So good job. Now you're in your jungle again. So your team's starting to make a lot of space for you. I'd be a little bit afraid of them entering your jungle after securing top tower, and because of that, I'd probably stick around the off lane. But it looks like they're all mid. You don't go to fight. You just get Lich ulti. That's honestly like a laugh and a half, realistically. Like, Lich ulti was pretty rough. Hero's pretty garbage against Meepo. Honestly, if you guys see Meepo and you pick Lich, if he's like anything of a good Meepo, he'll just be like, alright, sweet, this guy picked Lich and not like Earthshaker or some shit. Your courier goes down, not sure what was on it. You're working on your blink. Yeah, I think blink's pretty important here. It's not often you want to skip blink, but the thing is that it feels like it gives you a lot of kill potential, but you can't really play the kill potential game. And I feel like maybe going for a Manta before blink could be more important here, because like it just gives you so much split push potential with the illusions and just throwing them in another lane. And you're in the same train of thought that I would be in. You're like, shit, there's an Ember Spirit, like I need Hex, but they've got a fucking Abaddon, and honestly that hero's absolutely ridiculous. So I really don't think Hex is going to do anything this game. I think you just need to go full split push, hope they make a mistake and you get like a Rax for a Rax, and you just look to push. You do some of that. Fuck, who was it at the summit that just played? I mean, it must have been OG, right? Where, yeah, I think it was OG versus Vici, and Vici like absolutely fucked up. They lost a base race to a Meepo. Essentially, that's how you're expecting to win right now. The blink does help you get away and just be a rat in general as well, which is good. You get the Meepos out. Doing a great job so far. I do think though either like Yasha, yeah, I think you need Manta before Hex, because I don't know. You know what? We'll see how the enemy team plays. That's, I mean, not really much to analyze about that. I think you just have to split push 100% this game. You can't look to fight like whatsoever. This guy gets a freaking Maelstrom in order to, I don't know, farm faster, and I don't even know what. So yeah, Manta's super important still. It'll even help soak up the Lich ulti. Sure, it gives more units for the Ember Spirit to bounce off of with his cleave, but realistically, like, you need it to split push safely, right? Like, you put, I mean, I'm sure you understand how Meepo works. That's the safest way for you to split push, and realistically, split pushing is like the only way you win this game, because this Ember Spirit Magnus combo is just absolutely going to murder you. They've essentially got double Battle Fury. You're doing a great job, and this is exactly what you have to do. You have to split push like this. Now they're all missing. I would probably just TP back to my tower. You see the Quap top. They're most likely going to TP back for her. I would TP to my tier 1, split up the Meepos around the jungle real quick, do the jungle, and then most likely look to pressure either mid or top lane again, which is what you do. So there's your Manta style. You bait out quite a bit. You see them, that there's a lot of them top. You're doing a great job. Honestly, you're playing pretty well. I don't know if you bought Nikila for the bonus armor or if that was a mistake or what. But it looks... Oh my fucking lord. Oh! Oh my god. You had the net, bro. You had the net. Alright. Alright. A slight misplay there, but honestly, I'd be so tilted. I don't think I'd be able to make that play either. Nor would it have mattered. Alright, little bit of tilt Dota, but honestly, I can understand it. At this point, it's pretty well over. Again, you have to just split push so much, and that's like the only way you come back into this game. That I probably would have gone for a Scotty next. You go for a Diffusal to purge the Abaddon shield, I think. Yeah, Ember Spirit's a pretty legit hero. I do agree with that, maybe in a little bit of softer language, but it is tough. And you're split pushing, good shit, but at this point they're just so far ahead that you just die, like, no matter what. So it's really tough. Really tough to analyze games like this. You don't know what to do. Even I mean, I feel like you didn't know what to do, and it's the same thing as me. You literally just have to split push. You have to maybe try to get some early stacks with that third Meepo. Tell the Wyvern to just stay in lane and force the Lich out, because the fact that you had to return home, I think, twice is really important for your early game, because this Ember Spirit's getting essentially free farm. On top of that, you can't really afford to, you know, you can't afford to just give this Ember free farm and not have free farm yourself. You still played a good Meepo, don't get me wrong. You were just countered incredibly hard, and from there, there's not really much you can do, right? So, you know, tough game for sure. The picks are really hard. I don't know. I don't know. I'm even lost this game. I think you probably can't fight early on, especially if the Ember's free farming. You most likely just have to go top and try to kill him pre-6. Even just with 2 Meepos, like OG did it quite a bit during the summit. And if you want a good example of that, like a lot of the times when you die or you're forced out of your lane early on as the safe lane, you should just go in the off lane and get a kill. Even with the 1 point in a net, it's probably enough. You've got a Slardar as well as a Bounty Hunter. You should be able to easily get that kill. Easily get that kill. It might get kind of scary, but if you're microing well enough, you should be able to pull the 1 Meepo that's getting low away outside of that. And just slowing down the Ember as much as possible is important. But if you watch those games, you'll see that he'll either die. No-Tail will either die or get pressured out of lane. And then from there, he'll just go straight to the off lane and go for the kill. Usually, especially, I'd say not a lot of people expect it. Even in pro play, not a lot of people expect it because you're like, oh, he's the safe lane, or he's going to go back to the safe lane and farm up, yada, yada, yada. No, that doesn't always happen. You could have gone for a kill there. I think that most likely would have worked. If you can get him pre-6, which you should be able to, you can go there like level 4, even, level 5, hopefully before he gets level 6. Because he was in a tri lane as well, and even just them being in that lane a little bit. Let's go back and turn back our clocks and see how that went. Actually, rewatch this shit. Let's try to keep an eye on that and see if that was possible, because I definitely think it was. It was possible for you to pressure the lane earlier on, and it's something you can do as Meepo. He does have Flame Guard, which soaks up a lot of the damage, but if you've got 3 heroes, they should know. So like right after you die, they're not expecting you being missing from lane. This Bounty Hunter's been missing the whole time. You don't need the Wyvern. You probably just need the Bounty, the Slardar, and yourself, because I think they left, the Tuskar left quite often, and then the Abaddon went like bot lane, so just keep an eye on that one. You know, it might be hard. The Abaddon's really just hugging this Ember, so I don't even think you could have ganked this Ember. But even if you don't get a kill on the Ember, just pressuring the safe lane, like getting a kill on the Abaddon, it doesn't really feel like it's worth it, but it's not that bad, honestly. Like you're having a tough time bot lane anyways. I don't know what this guy's doing. I didn't even notice he was there earlier. I think he just left. Either that or you stack up with the other Meepo. I think that's really the only thing you can do. Instead, this guy just gets like a double kill top, and I mean, not much to say about it. They played it really well. They constricted your jungle early on. You really had to try to split push and get you know, some stacks a little bit earlier on. Probably stack this large one. I think this large camp's a little bit too sketchy because they can really pressure your jungle with heroes like Tuskar, Lich, +1, either the Abaddon or the Magnus, whoever they want. So you do a good job there. You go for the bots. You recognize that you have to split push a shit ton. This Ember Spirit's just a hard kill. This guy's going to be way behind on any item timing. I mean, he's only level 5 still. Lich does go down bottom. But most importantly, this guy's just had full free farm. He gets a freaking Perseverance out of it. He always has a Remnant up. Honestly, Ember Spirit's just a hero. I think they just need to nerf Remnant a little bit, and he won't be as disgusting. But yeah, you guys just fight a bunch. Good split pushing mid, pressuring the tower and stuff. Getting a little bit... Well, you stack there, I guess. You probably could have had the other Meepo mid lane since it wasn't doing much. If you don't have the APM to do so, I understand it, but either way, whatever. So, you know, again, not much to say about this game, man. I'm sorry if I couldn't help too much. You just had to split push a lot. Try to get some early stacks in order to get that Agnum Scepter a little bit earlier on. They just had some really gross heroes, and like sometimes it just comes down to that. Maybe just on the second thought, go for something like a Gyro. That probably would have been a little bit better. Juggernaut wouldn't have been that bad either. PL would have been pretty solid this game as well, even though they've got like a Magnus as well as an Ember Spirit. Abaddon's not that great against PL. he can't really pressure him out that much. The Lich wouldn't have been able to do too much here as well. Oof, that was sketchy. Yeah, just maybe just. I mean, I never want to say, oh, just pick a different hero, because I'm sure like Weehaw and Meepo could have done better. Maybe if you would have gone in the mid lane, probably send the co-op to the safe lane. I think it would have been much better, but really that doesn't happen in pubs. So again, not much I can say about that. Good game, well played, man. It was fairly unfortunate, but sometimes this shit just happens. Maybe look to split push a little bit more. Look for the early stacks. Try not to fight early on. Ask your team to help pressure this Ember out. Even if you don't get the kill, even if it's post level 6, just pressure him out. You don't get the kill, sure, he's got to go home. The idiot didn't go for Boots of Travel first, and that's probably something that you could have recognized and said, alright, this guy's not going for Boots of Travel, doesn't have them yet. He can't efficiently jump in and out of lanes because his TP's on a 75-second cooldown, or a 70-second cooldown instead of a 45-second cooldown, whatever the hell it is on bots, something like that. So he can't jump around all that much, in which case you look to just pressure his top lane, steal his jungle from him, which you do. But imagine if this tier 1 tower's down. You kind of have to force them all to your tier 1. Your co-op gets a little bit more space to try and get a little bit fatter, get the Aghanim Scepter a little bit earlier on, excuse me, but all in all, it was a super tough game, and you definitely played it to the best of your ability. Could have maybe been a little bit better, recognizing that you need to split push more, recognizing that you maybe could have forced this Ember Spirit out of lane earlier on. This bounty doesn't really do much. These track kills are really important, so maybe just running around with the bounty, like running around as 5, probably could have been useful as well, because the Ember Spirit can't do shit, really. He doesn't go for Boots of Travel, so he can't really react to fights all that much either. So now that I see this, yeah, you guys probably just could have 5-man with the track gold. They don't really have any sustain. This guy's still only got mana boots. This Lich is going like Aghanim Scepter first. Abaddon's got some pretty good sustain, but if you can just net him, keep him out of these fights, keep the team, kind of split up a little bit, you probably could have just 5-man with track and then look to get your advantage that way. The Ember Spirit's going to get his items no matter what. So realistically, the only way you win this is if you probably 5-man split push a little bit, grab an Aegis, look to pressure with an Aegis, because that way, sure, the Ember Spirit can kill you, maybe not kill you twice though. And I think that's probably the best analysis that I could give. You kind of just have to recognize that, alright, he didn't go for the bots, so you know what, let's 5-man around the map. He can't really pressure, because if he does, he's got a freaking Perseverance, and that's about it. You can 5-man a little bit better. You just have to be careful of the RPs, and that's about it. The Lich is an easy pick for you guys, in all honesty. The bounty should give you a ton of vision. He should easily be able to track up the Magnus, so probably could have played it a little bit like that. And hopefully it helped a little bit, man. Good game, well played. You definitely tried. I tried to give whatever analysis I could, but it seemed really tough just based on the pick. So, good game, and hopefully they're better than this one, man. Thanks for the replay. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the video. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to check out some of my other videos. I have my series From Lane to Lane, where I just cast some everyday pubs that you guys send me. I also do some more professional pubs, like games from Koikva, Miracle, whoever I can get my hands on from Dodo Buff. I have a learning series as well, so feel free to check that out. There's some more info in the description, as well as some videos linked in the annotations at the end here. Thanks a lot.